with the Freeborn County Historical Museum, Library and Village. With me today is Jenna Thompson, the owner of Daisy Blue Naturals, and we are going to be making pink ladies.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I'm excited you're here.
Well, we were just talking earlier about how did I end up here?
Yes.
That's quite the process. I think I just said it would be fun, and you said, sure, let's do it.
Yes, because you provided us the rose water for
That's
which
right.
beverage? I can't even think. One of our first cocktail histories that we did.
Yes, because of course with Daisy Blue, we have a lot of our own infusions and
Yes.
hydrosols and rose water. So I guess that's how it ended up that I'm here.
So we're thrilled you're here. I am going to also introduce our other guest, Catherine Meehan, who will be joining us for this history, cocktail history.
Like the official person looking over my shoulder right now as I mix my drinks.
I wish we were dressed like her.
I know, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I was wondering, like maybe period wear each time.
We might have to
That's
talk about
next.
that.
That's next. I'm coming back because I'm already inviting myself for another mix too. I love making cocktails and mocktails. That was our new term I taught some kids when we were playing around mixing drinks. And I think it's because, as a chemist, I love to make things and create, and so it's always been fun to do that. So I'm excited. The Pink Lady is one that was during Prohibition. They don't know the exact era time that it started, but it was during that time. And you think it's a sweet drink, and we'll make it a little sweeter, but it typically is more tart.
Oh, interesting.
And strong.
I've never had a pink lady.
Ooh.
And to be honest, you're talking about strong. Most of the drinks back in that day
Yes.
were quite strong.
Right.
We've discovered that with a few of the beverages
I'm
that
sure.
we've made.
I'm sure. Well, part of it was back then, of course, during Prohibition, alcohol was being produced, so it wasn't always great tasting. So the gin that was being made didn't taste good. So they had to find a way to make it taste better because they're not going to stop drinking it. They just wanted it to taste better. And I think that's part of where a Pink Lady came and probably some of the other ones from that time.
And a lot of the drinks were, it seems like in that era, our gin they're gin drinks.
Yes.
The bulk of them are
Yeah.
gin drinks. We've kind of modified to modern day to some things, but
And gin's been around a very long time. It was a medicinal to start.
yes.
From the juniper berry, there's our chemistry lesson for the day, or botanical lesson, I guess. But yeah, they used to actually, apothecaries used to carry gin, and it was from the juniper berries, and it was medicinal. So we're drinking something good for us, maybe.
I'm all for that. I do a little bourbon when I've got a cold.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Honey,
Hot
lemon,
toddy
bourbon.
type, yes, yeah. Very cool, very cool.
So I'm gonna let you mix.
Let's get started, all right.
And then we'll talk as we sip, we'll talk a little
Okay.
bit about Catherine Meehan.
Yeah, cool. And then we can share this recipe to anyone watching later, right?
Yeah.
So I'll talk it through a little bit, but you're gonna talk about Catherine.
Yeah,
And she'd enjoy this drink.
that's why we picked her today.
Awesome. All right, so I'm gonna get started. And the two alcohols we're using is a dry gin. I like Bombay, we talked about that earlier, so we're gonna use that one. And then an apple whiskey. So the original Pink Lady, well, maybe not original, but the Baird Applejack Whiskey, this was from like George Washington time.
Yeah.
So I was reading that George Washington actually commissioned them to make some whiskey for him because one of his troops was a Baird, hopefully I'm saying it right, could be Bard, family member. So I love that history. Like George Washington, you always hear the cherry tree.
Yes.
Now we have an apple history.
I
with
like
George
that.
Washington.
I like that.
All right, so we're gonna do a shot of this, or a shot and a half of this, and a shot of this in a handy dandy shaker.
So I love that you use your shaker lid for your shot glass.
Well, it's an ounce, and
Yeah,
it's perfect.
I love that.
And like I said earlier, I have a tendency sometimes to break things, and we don't want to do that. So, and this would be typically for one, so we're just gonna do double, so we can each get one.
That's what we usually do on our show. We do a double shake, a double pour.
Perfect. You can even smell that. Just
I do. I'm not a gin lover.
ooh, this will be fun.
I've never had a good gin cocktail when I've gone out.
Okay.
I have enjoyed learning how to mix it properly.
Yeah.
Because it really is quite lovely.
It can be, yes. I had to get over the pine needle flavor, right? Because it has that strong juniper, but
When you mix, according to the recipe, you don't really get that. It's not as strong.
no, if you're doing it right, if it's a good gin also.
Yes.
So smell that one.
Ooh. Oh.
There's the secret weapon.
That is
That's the
Okay,
secret.
so that is spiked apple.
Yes. So the next step I'm gonna do before we shake is grenadine. So I make a homemade grenadine, and I make it a simple syrup using pure pomegranate juice. You can use, if you want a really tart drink, you can use just pomegranate, but I don't like using the store-bought grenadine because there's corn syrup in it. So I try to stay away from that. So this is just a simple syrup. It's raw sugar and pomegranate and lemon juice.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So
Maybe
we're gonna
we may have to
add,
try that.
we're gonna add, yes, we're gonna add, well, 2 shots of this. It would typically be 1. Okay, and before I shake, I have one more secret weapon. And this is something you want to get locally. We're gonna mix in our egg white.
Okay.
I feel like it's a good cook. It's like I'm on a cooking
Cooking
show right
show.
now.
This is egg white. We're gonna mix.
All right, so we're gonna add that in. And the reason you want to go local is because obviously we are using a raw egg. The more local you buy your eggs, the less chance you have a bacteria.
Okay.
All right, so I'm
Good
gonna
to
shake
know.
for about a minute.
Oh, wow, okay.
And hold it tight.
So Catherine Meehan we find her throughout our museum. She's been, actually, for me, one of the most fascinating people that we've discovered, or since Risha and I have been here, which is, what, you've been here about, how long?
A year and a half, maybe?
Okay, and I've been here, just going on 2 years, so
Oh, wow.
she's just fascinating, she's fantastic. And the earliest, thing we found out about her, she was probably about the age 10 or 11 when she joined the Young Ladies Industrious Society of Freeborn County. And so we have a photo. She's the one, if you can see her here with the arrow. And that is really how she, I think, came to grow into being this fantastic, strong, well-loved Freeborn County woman. She was an ardent admirer of the leading suffragette Carrie Chapman Catt, and was the leader for Freeborn County suffragettes. She was known as one of Carrie Chapman Catt's kittens,
I love it.
which I love that.
The Kitten Club.
The Kitten Club.
I love it.
Okay, now you're adding lemon
Oh, I
juice.
am. I'm adding lemon juice, which could have been done first before we shook, but. And then I'm gonna add the ice in now. So you wanna do a dry, it's called a dry shake, and that's gonna become, see how creamy that looks and
Oh,
foamy?
yeah.
That's how we get our egg white to be kind of like a
Okay.
meringue almost.
Oh, fun.
But if you put it with ice, it kind of breaks it down faster,
Okay.
so you don't get the same results.
Oh, that's all right. Throw it over.
Here we go, I blocked it.
It's good to have a mishap, because Risha and I usually do have a mishap.
Well, if you ever watch me, you will see that. So I'm just gonna give it a little shake so we don't lose some of that foaminess. And then here we go.
Gosh, look at it.
Oh,
It coordinates with
does.
her. I love
See some of that
this.
foam coming up. And you can get it even more foamy, as I like to say.
Oh, sure, if you just get that last little.
Yep. That last little bit. If you don't add ice to it, you're going to have it, it's gonna
Really
be
foamy.
very foamy.
So have you ever, like I tend to keep some of my items in the freezer.
Yep, you certainly can, yep.
Does it foam still if the,
Not as much.
Okay.
So you do want to make sure that it is room temp, ideally.
Okay.
And then these are the extra Jenna things that I like to add. So I added a little bit of this, just a little of the juice. This is my favorite. It's the bourbon cherries. Not quite the same. I mean, this is totally my ad lib addition to this drink because it just needs a little bit more. You can get these actually at EJ's Mercantile here in town.
Oh, really?
And Hy-Vee carries it as well in their liquor
Okay.
store. And then we'll throw in one of the cherries. So these are
bourbon
also-
cherries, I love that.
It's also great with old fashions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we're gonna have an old fashioned throwdown coming up
Ooh.
in the near future.
And you have to have pomegranate in there. So, there we go. Now it's officially done.
So it's really, it's a drink and a snack.
It's a drink and it's healthy and it's a snack. Yes.
So,
Cheers.
cheers. Cheers, Mrs. Meehan.
Cheers.
Oh, that's good.
Isn't that tasty?
Oh, that's
You
good.
still get the gin, just
Mm.
not quite as juniper.
That is really nice.
Mm.
Mm.
But they're good.
That is good.
They got some kick. I can see why this was a prohibition drink.
Oh gosh.
Right?
So we did a show on it. We did talk about this, the the martini glasses during Prohibition.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know why they came to be?
I don't.
Rumor has it that during Prohibition, if you got raided, you could get rid of your drink quicker.
Oh, you could throw it.
Just,
Well, sure.
I thought that was,
That's
still, it's
brilliant.
one of my fun facts.
Can
I
you
thought.
see the difference between our two? I have to, this is my special martini glass because you don't spill it as easily.
Oh, I love it.
Isn't that cool?
So
Crate and barrel.
I have stemless martini glasses.
Oh, that's nice too. Then you don't, yeah.
Don't spill.
Yes, yeah. All in what you make it. That's getting cut out, right? Oh my gosh, okay.
So one of my
That's
other
pretty interesting.
favorite things about Catherine, I wonder if her nickname was Kitty. I have an Aunt Catherine who was nicknamed Kitty. I'm just thinking now,
Yeah.
Carrie Chapman Cats Kittens Kitty.
I would bet she was.
I
It
love that.
fits.
I
love the kitty.
I think that if I was named Catherine, I'd want to be called Kitty.
She was quite the lady.
She was. She also became a charter member of the League of Women Voters, which we do have a pop-up exhibit on suffragettes that came, and the League was, I think, a co-sponsor on that, if I'm not mistaken. I think they did some funding with that. Catherine Meehan is featured in our World War I exhibit because of the suffragettes and her role that she played there. And this lovely portrait is going to be hung in Judge Meehan's office, which is an exhibit we're currently working on.
Oh, that is so cool.
And Judge Meehan was a key player also in Freeborn County. So
Oh, that'll be interesting to learn about him too.
yes,
Yes.
he's also an interesting character.
Yeah.
And then his shaving mug is also featured in our barber shop.
That's cool.
So we've got a lot of tie-ins, and they've been really fun to track and get to know. She's considered one of Albert Lee's first ladies, so.
Well, I shared this earlier. What I thought was interesting is the Shoreland Heights history. Because I moved there about 13 years ago and I came to Albert Lee, so I had no idea that, it's funny that I'm here. She has a huge tie, obviously, to that development.
Yes.
It's a really cool history.
She's got a tie, her little fingers were in quite a
Yeah.
few little pots,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
she's one that we'll be featuring the more we find out about her. Our goal is to do some more videos with our YouTube channel. We've done some echoes of the past. We have board members coming in that are gonna do some little snippets here and there on some of our exhibits. And I
So-
think she's one that we would like to feature a little more too and get some more.
I think that would be cool. Are you actively taking memberships right now?
Yes,
or-
we are.
Okay, good,
We are.
Good.
Yeah, we actually did a pretty nice membership drive this fall and have had quite a few new memberships come in the last few months, so.
Wonderful. Because
Yeah.
I'm sure with having to be closed, I mean, anytime you can get some support too, it helps.
Yes, it does, and I will say, one of my favorite things about the Freeborn County community, especially the Albert Lake community, they do support us.
Oh,
They,
good.
and our small businesses, I mean, I think
Yeah.
it's, you talk about COVID, we also had road construction,
Oh, that's
but
right,
we
yeah.
still had members calling to see what we needed and volunteers calling to see what we needed, and, when I talked with board about, we need to be out and supporting the local businesses, they were 100% behind that, so it's been
It's a year of community.
yeah,
That's-
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely,
Yes.
yeah, which she would have loved, right? She was
Cheers,
all about
cheers
it.
to community
Cheers to community.
and to Catherine.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for letting me come and mix up some drinks with you.
Anytime.
Till next time.